right, well, let's welcome back to the stage the man responsible for this new version of a classic film, Jay Wolfel, joined by the son of one of his legendary stars, Mr. Bela Lugosi Jr. Thank you.
One thing I noticed after working on this film is I looked at the original script. This film was shot on Catalina Island and at the Paramount Ranch. You can see like the breath coming out of people's faces. Lugosi and Captain Donahue were the last two people cast in the movie. The movie, they have a bigger part than they had in the original script. Whether Bela came up with these lines or what, his part was expanded, as was Donahue's. Another kind of rap this movie gets is that Bela got paid less than everybody else. In fact, his day rate was exactly the same as everybody else, but he worked less days. So that's just one of these kind of Hollywood ways to kind of like make what's nothing into sort of something. There's a chair here. Neither of us was around when this movie was made, but through talking with you a little bit, there's a few things you just sort of know about your father's early days in Hollywood, especially I was saying he was one of the early members of the Screen Actors Guild. Can you talk a little bit about what you found in your sort of archives about his union efforts or his opinions about that kind of thing?
The family was putting together a collection, and looking for things to include. I remember my dad, his efforts to unionize in Hungary when he left showed that his heart for all time was for the working man and the actor in particular. So when he got here to Hollywood, we found a number of letters in his papers where he wrote to and got responses, trying to convince other actors to join the Screen Actors Guild. I think he was number 28 or something.
He left Hungary because Hungary was not in good shape, and through the war he supported efforts to help free Hungary from fascism. Paramount was run by Adolf Zukor, who was another famous Hungarian in Hollywood. You're also working on a documentary also, right? Or helping the efforts of a documentary?
Yes, it's in the works. This will be a feature-length biographical documentary of Dan's life and how he affected so many people even today and still continues to do.
Absolutely. You mentioned that Lynn told me that the print of White Zombie that Kino brought out was actually a print that your family had. She also told me that Bela was actually helped direct some of that film because they were sort of running out of time and money.
Yes, in fact, he told me that the picture was at a standstill because of lack of funds. And Dad said that he had to take over and do some of the directing to get the picture done.
Now, talk a little bit about his preparation for a role. You told me part of what helped him do it was just that he really knew everything in and out.
Yes, I saw him prepare. And he'd have a script. He'd sit there and he'd say a line. And if he didn't like the way the line sounded, he'd say it again and again until he got the line just the way he liked it. And he annotated the script in handwriting. Cues to him while he was doing the script. And he spent hours reading the scripts. When he got onto the set, he already knew his lines, and he'd be like one take, as long as nobody else screwed up the scene.
It's got to be somebody who knows what's going on for all the people who don't know what's going on in the movie set. Leonard, you had also mentioned that his role in Son of Frankenstein, kind of like in this film, got expanded than they had. That you sort of gave him more.
He really was the fondest of his role as Igor in that movie. It gave him the chance to do a little bit of comedic acting, and really his whole career, he was about 50 years old when he made the Dracula film. He did all sorts of parts. And he particularly had a good sense of humor. And sometimes he'd screw up the punchline of a joke, but basically had a good sense of humor.
Yeah, for years I heard about some of these sort of comedies he did, and I sort of like, well, maybe he didn't get the joke, but it's obvious that he got the jokes.
Oh yeah, he enjoyed comedy.
People talk about he does being Dracula, but really the whole hunchback assistant thing, I mean, that's really pretty much totally his, of course, makeup people too, but Igor is really just as widely known as Dracula. I mean, it became a whole sort of character. So Dracula and Igor, which are totally opposite types, were really your dad's creation. I'm being given the timeout symbol, which is unfortunately not timeout, but out of time. Does anybody have any quick question?
I have a question.
Can't see you, but just asking.
During your introductory remarks, you said this was our one chance to see this. Are you not planning to screen it publicly again?
I would hope to screen it publicly again. This is really just for sort of events like this. You know, some things you do for money, some things you do for love. Hopefully you don't do anything for love of money, because that doesn't really work out very well. So it's screened once in Austin and once here. So hopefully it's the start of other screenings. But I'm not. This film's really just to be presented in a situation like this. It's not for release this way. I'll sell you the music happily. You can buy that through my website. So hopefully, there'll be others, but there might not. So this might be your
Well,
chance.
Jay, you did a really good job, and I thank you.
Sitting here with you, doing this film was kind of my chance to work with Charles Lawton and Bela Lugosi. And I knew you were alive and well, and one day I started making a U-turn near my house. And my wife, I said, "That's Bela Lugosi Jr." She goes, "How do you know?" I said, "Well, it's a black BMW. We know he lives in Glendale, and his license plate says Bela Jr. So I think, as you went by, he was wearing some really cool, like the aviator dark glasses. I said, yeah, it's him.
I can't hide.
I'll do the license plate. Thank you so much. My new film, The Silent Darkness, it's available. Please go see that. Like I said, you can buy the music if you like it. And thanks so much for coming out tonight.